back in Sac River, and you'll arrive, as we have, at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Baltimore Ravens and the New York Jets. Greg Zuerlein set to get us started here, and off we go from MetLife Stadium. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Now Jackson on first down. They set up the screen for Dobbins. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
And as you're game planning as a staff, you go through all the different ways you can neutralize the other guy's pass rushers. Extra linemen, leave a tight end in, bring the running backs back in to block. Or you can do this, a little simple screen pass, and it works to perfection.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. First carry from former Buckeye J.K. Dobbins. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now it's Jackson. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. The Raven passing game getting in sync. Another first down. And worth pointing out, after that last completion, that puts this young quarterback over 10,000 yards passing for his career. And fair to say, he's not done yet.
No doubt about it. He's really just getting started because he's not quite into the prime of his career. So it's likely he's going to hit a few more of these milestones as this career progresses. So let's face it, we'll acknowledge this number and we'll celebrate the milestones down the road.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now it's Jackson. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
Right back to Dobbins on first. Room here to run. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, 32 yards. And the Ravens are on the board here first in the season opener. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now the first running back drafted in April, this is Breece Hall. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
He's got a man, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one will go down as 33 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
A very early momentum changer there. Actually a dream killer for the defense because they forced a 3rd down. Felt like they had a good chance to get off the field defensively, and then they got hit with that big play.
On 1st down, Wilson. Over the middle, complete. It's Davis. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. This is shaping up to be a really nice-looking drive to get the season underway here.
And how long do you think that they actually have been plotting this drive? I'm talking about the coaching staff, right? They've been thinking about this for a while now, and I think they're executing it even better than what they expected.
And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
But they're certainly not neglecting their run duties as well as they ate up the blockers in front and allowed the secondary to get home.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Throwing is Wilson. Yeah, that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Now it's Wilson. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Zerline's kick is up and through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Perfect start to the season on their first drive last time out, able to find the end zone. Now we'll see if they can make it 2 for 2 here in week 1. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Jackson. And this incomplete. He tried to check it down to his running back and nearly had the ball picked.
pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
The heavy set out there. 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3. Jackson now. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. Mark Andrews. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Well, that's pretty impressive, Charles. It's one thing to be an elite speed wide receiver and have all that yards after the catch into the end zone, but from your tight end?
Yeah, you don't get that very often. What you're describing is more like a Tyreek Hill, a Devontae Adams, and Antonio Brown. You're not talking about a guy that lines up or can line up in line and look like an extra tackle on running plays. He took that bad boy downfield just like he was a scat back.
Before the game, he told me, I'm going to have a zinger or two today. And I thought, a zinger or two? I guess that's a zinger, right?
That's a zinger.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They finished off their opening drive of the campaign with a field goal on the last drive. Now they'll search for a touchdown here on this go-around. 1st and 10. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. They go play action with Wilson. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Now Tucker to add the PAT. And it's 21 to 3. Makes the score Ravens 21, Jets 3. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago and threw the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, it's Wilson. Going for the deep ball. He's got a man, complete. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. For Zach Wilson, you have to figure if you're going to be drafted number 2 overall, you better have a big arm, and he does not disappoint there.
And we often talk about hang time for punts, but in this case, we should probably calculate the hang time on that throw because that one hung up there for a long time and managed to keep going and going until it found its target.
Yeah, and you see the final number there on how far that ball traveled. Pretty impressive. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Open man here is Conklin. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. 21 to 3 is your score after 1. From the 4, this is 2nd down and 1. the gun. They run it with Hall. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. It's Wilson on the option. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Zach Wilson. A 3-yard run as he kept it himself. And the Jets are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Zerline good with a PAT. And it makes the score 21-10. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence, because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. From the gun, Jackson. That'll be complete to Dobbins. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Partner, you know when we call a game, we talk about Lamar Jackson and his speed and his elusiveness and the ability to get him on the ground, how tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower, as a professional?
This offense in midseason form here in the opener. It's 1st and 10. Here's the option going right. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw defensive end right in his face, because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. 68 yards rushing for him in this first half as he is looking in mid-season form here in the opener. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance in guessing, because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
On 3rd and 1, Jackson able to locate Andrews here on the out route. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
Braxton Berrios selected to bring it out. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Wilson. And it's intercepted. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And all the way down to the 5. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 45 yards. So he nearly took it the distance, gets him down inside the 10 for a 1st and goal.
I'd love to be in his head right now, because is he rewarding himself for a great run, or is he kicking himself because he didn't get all the way to the goal line?
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. They'll run with Dobbins. Oh, how about this on 1st and goal? And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Here's Jackson to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation. It's got to be so tough having the ball in the middle of the field like that, knowing that a linebacker is just waiting to make a big tackle like we just saw.
No doubt about it, because offense coordinators love to call plays that send receivers into the middle of the field. And linebackers, they want to naturally discourage those plays from being called.
Dobbins. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice win for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
Berrios going to bring this out of the end zone. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this, because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Well, there you go, Charles. His first touchdown pass of the new season.
Well, let's just go back to his rookie year, because he's able to get his feet wet, right? Get a little bit of experience. Now I think here in year 2, the game will slow down for him, and we'll see his true talents come out.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Jackson on the give to Dobbins. 120 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Throwing is Jackson. This one caught by his tight end, Andrews.
Jackson finding his tight end, Andrews, for the Ravens' first down.
Zero surprise to see Mark Andrews receive a pass and pick up a first down right there. Not only is he one of the best tight ends in the league, he's one of the best overall players in the entire NFL. Set Baltimore Ravens franchise records last season for catches and yards in a single year.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson.
That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay.
The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17.
It's a pickup of 11 at a Baltimore first down.
First down, Ravens.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the left hash, this from 34. Tucker's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Play action. Now Wilson on the move to his left. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on 2nd down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for it first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Wilson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. That's complete to his receiver, Bateman. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And some space here. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 163 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10. They go play action with Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down.
They'll go again with Dobbins.
And a good job on the tackle there as they get him down shy of the first on the 35-yard strike. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, but 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Okay, can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
To try again after the sack, Wilson.
And intercepted. Wilson's 3rd of the game.
Picked off by Marcus Williams.
And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the 3rd quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances, so they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
Brandon, if I wanted to run the football this close to the goal line, I think I just turn around and hand it to my tailback. Too many things could go wrong in this situation. I think they're fortunate just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
He'll buy some time right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So they got the turnover, started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. The goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Another try after the first down sack. Wilson. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. There's Wilson to throw.
And this one incomplete. And another throw that really could have been, maybe should have been intercepted. That would have been number 4. Instead, it's fourth down.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. Fourth down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
He'll air this one out for Mims.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey.
And the Ravens are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
A running play on first down, and it turns into a fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Hey, middle.
Jackson firing quickly out wide for Bateman.
And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
A gain of 4. And it's 3rd down.
The Ravens on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6.
They'll run up the gut with Dobbins.
And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. The Ravens send their punter out now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt.
Here's Berrios. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards.
And the Jets will take over 1st and 10.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week 1 because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. So these fans just kind of beside themselves right now.
The sack there by Roquan Smith. After the sack on first down, Wilson. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
And he'll have a Jets first down as he gets it up past the 35.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
Touchdown! Corey Davis, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Jets are able to cut into that deficit. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens. The fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number as empirical.
That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for second down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on third down.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And here comes Berrios. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there.
And the Jets will take over.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession.
Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a two-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
And he'll throw this one away. But I don't think he was out of the pocket. No, here comes the flag.
Yeah, he hadn't gotten far enough away from the pocket to throw that football away, and that draws the flag.
Yeah, the old tackle box, right? Get outside of each tackle, and then you can go ahead and throw it away, and you're in good shape. But if you're back there in the pocket, you got to make sure of what you're doing.
Here's Wilson. A breakdown defensively there as the scramble is going to set him up with a much more manageable third down.
Fast, slow, it doesn't matter. If you give a quarterback enough room to escape, he can hit you for a big gain. You've got to give him a little more focus moving forward.
On third down, Wilson. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field.
And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
So now with a 2-minute warning coming up fast, that puts a mammoth dent in their comeback hopes.
I like how you phrased it. It's a dent because there's still opportunity. They've got to get the ball back on defense, obviously twice. But guess what? This thing is not close to being over. They need to go ahead and play it out.
Not over. As you said, 2-score game still.
They set up the screen for Dobbins.
Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
On 3rd down, Drake. And he'll get nothing out of that one. And a timeout taken. Just 6 seconds away from the 2-minute warning. This defense wanted to stop the clock prior to that, and they do. Here's Justin Tucker now for the Raven field goal try. This to make it a 3-score game late. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away.
Berrios now from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
They go play action now. Wilson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Kyle Fuller.
And the Ravens are going to take over here up near the 40. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
Ready!
They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in Week 1.
Well, CD, always a little extra excitement for Week 1, and one of our early window games here in Week 1 on a Sunday comes to a close. Good to be